Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Canal Days, What Life Was Like in the Industrial Connecticut River Valley. As always, I'm your host, Carrie, along with my co-host, founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. Our Canal Days series explores historic sites throughout Massachusetts with Robert's expertise of the state's history as our personal guide. Each episode, we discover another historic location or landmark, exploring the significance within. Today's episode will be exploring the St. Stanislaus Church of Chicopee, Massachusetts. Can you reveal the early history of the church?
Yes, the bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Springfield told a pastor in Chicopee he should start up a church for the Polish ethnic group in Chicopee, since they were getting so many Polish people come in from Europe. And he ordered as such in 1890. And so that priest got as much as he could ready, and the first mass ever at St. Stanislaus Church was in 1891. So that's the one component. Now remember, as of almost all campuses, what you're seeing is not the original. It doesn't happen that way. You don't get a gorgeous church out of nowhere. You start small and then put things in place. And that includes other components like rectories, convents, and schools, and cemeteries. So the cemetery of St. Stanislaus didn't come until 1924. So they would use a Calvary cemetery. And the school itself didn't come until September of 1897. And then the Polish were able to train their students. Some classes would be in Polish and others would be in English. So today we're going to learn about all the churches and what happened through it, but also about what the campus was like and how that changed around. Now, the school was staffed by nuns from the Franciscan Sisters of Felician Order, and the present church was put in place, and the nuns would live at a convent in 1906, and so the school, the convent were ready, at least a temporary church was ready, and then a rectory was put in place. All right, now the priests themselves, for about 11 years, were any order that the Catholic Diocese put out there, but they were always assigned as being from a Polish ethnic group. And finally that changed in 1902 when the Franciscan priests took over for good, and they served that campus very well for now over a century.
And can you recall the details of the church in the year 1908?
Well, the congregation grew and grew, and that tiny church that was in the location where the present modern school is was too small. So in 1908, the priests got together enough money to start to build a gorgeous big church. And it was ready by July 25th, 1909, when the present church was put into place. And it has inside some brick and, of course, steel beams. But on the outside, it's with stucco and it has a gorgeous look. It's a very tan look and two towers to it. And it's quite easy to see, of course. It's on Front Street and quite gorgeous. And it's in the basilica format. That means a certain four-sided building. And we're definitely going to talk about why that's important, because it changed around. Now the campus has changed around greatly. It's added towards the back a place for the retired friars, and that's in the modern building in the back of the church towards the right. And then the convent was changed over to the parish office since there were no more nuns left. And the school is now bigger than ever and still quite active, to say the least. And the friary is right out front, and that's where the Franciscan friars who serve the big church are located.
And stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this quick break. Are you fascinated by history and eager to explore the hidden gems of Massachusetts? Or maybe just looking for an enjoyable cultural activity for the family? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Kumu. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating public tours and presentations of historic sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, or charming old churches and more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not it. You can also book private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized and unforgettable adventure. Perfect for families and groups of all sizes, making an exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214 @yahoo.com to schedule your private tour today. But wait, there's more. Don't miss out on Robert's podcast and video series, Canal Days, where you can dive even deeper into the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. Plus, for those who may not be local or would rather enjoy on the go or from the comfort of their home, Canal Days brings the history right to your screen. So why wait? Discover the past with Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke and make memories that will last a lifetime. And remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org for more information today. Welcome back to our Canal Days episode of the Stanislaus Church in Chicopee, Mass. And can you clarify what happened to the church in the year 1991?
A big event, a very important event happened. And that's when the St. Stanislaus Church moved up in the world quite a bit. That's the year in which it became known as the Basilica of St. Stanislaus, Bishop and Martyr. That is a move from normal church into the higher level of basilica, a minor basilica. There's only around the United States about, I believe, 180 basilicas. Around the world, about 1,800. And most of them, of course, are minor. There's only 4 major basilicas. What that means is a place where it's considered more sacred, that has inside of it some implements that could be considered to be a shrine. In the basement of the St. Stanislaus, there are very, very beautiful cabinets with many relics and shrines available. So that was an important day in the life of this wonderful church. Now, they have a plaque devoted to it on the church itself. It was designated as such by Pope John Paul II on July 7th of that year. And, of course, that's a big deal. And it just so happens most of these honors do go to churches that have the basilica shaped to them. And that's important. This church is called a Baroque Revival architectural style. And most of those are rectangular shapes. They don't have the cross shapes that a lot of Catholic churches have. And so a lot of people also call that shape a basilica.
And describe the campus of the church nowadays in 2025.
It's a very big campus and very active, very easy to find. And you should always go into the gorgeous church. And I've been here a couple of times, of course. Each stained glass window is quite gorgeous. Between the stained glass windows are the 14 Stations of the Cross. It has a gorgeous transept, our front area where the altar is. I've never been in the basements, but someday I want to go inside there. And the outside is quite gorgeous. And it probably is maybe the best Catholic church in terms of look within Hamden County itself. Now, it's a very active campus. 2 places for the friars to be, including a retirement home, a parish office in the former convent, and then they have a very active school grounds, which have a lot of students still involved. And so thus it's quite worth your time to visit.
And thank you for tuning in. And listening to today's episode of the St. Stanislaus Church and joining us on our journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden gems and fascinating stories that shape our past in the state of Massachusetts. A special thanks to Robert Camus, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, for sharing his passion and expertise with us. Remember, you can find more information about Robert's tours, book private tours, and explore Canal Days video and podcast series at holyokecanaltour.org. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, keep exploring and discovering the history that surrounds us.